Hello, I'm Carson Akins. Today I'm going to talk about my application, which is mountain bike frames. I'm going to talk about my three materials that I chose for the application. So for the first material, I chose 6061 T6 aluminum, which T6 is the heat treatment, 4130 steel, which is chromoly, and then T800 carbon fiber. So for my examples, this ski pole right here is made out of aluminum. The bike frame that I have behind me is made out of 4130 chromoly. The reason why I chose bike frames is because I used to be super into biking. As a high schooler, I did it like every single day until I got some pretty serious injuries that made me go a little bit more into skiing, but I still find mountain biking really cool. I still think that the building of a bike frame is also pretty cool. So the four properties that I wanted to talk about were yield strength and ultimate strength, and then density and hardness. And so when it comes to yield strength, the lowest was aluminum, and aluminum had a 276 megapascal yield strength, and it also had the lowest tensile strength at 310 megapascals. Chromoly had a 435 megapascal yield strength and a 670 megapascal tensile strength. And then carbon fiber doesn't really have a yield strength because it's so brittle. It just kind of explodes as soon as it starts to yield. And its ultimate strength was 5,880 megapascals. So carbon fiber had a significantly higher than the rest of them ultimate strength, but chromoly had a pretty high strength with some ductility still in there. So now as we go into our next application, which is density, this one I found very interesting because of just how they build bike frames. So aluminum had a 2.7 grams per centimeter squared density. Chromoly had a 7.8 grams per centimeter squared, or cubed, density, and carbon fiber had a 1.8 grams per centimeters cube density. And so you can see chromoly was way higher than the rest of them. Well, what's cool about chromoly is because it's so much stronger than aluminum, they actually use a lot less material. So it ends up being around the same weight as aluminum would be when you build a bike frame, but it is stronger still because of the yielding strength and the tensile strength. And then carbon fiber was really low compared to them. And so carbon fiber is by far the lightest, and it's also incredibly strong. And so my last application was the hardness. And for this one, it was the Vickers test. So what I found on aluminum was it had a 107. Chromoly had a 207, so significantly harder. And carbon fiber was 100.28, which didn't seem too right after researching, because I feel like carbon fiber should be a lot stronger or harder than that. But from what I've read, it's super hard to do hardness tests on something like carbon fiber, because as soon as any plastic deformation happens to it, it tends to just explode. But as you can see, this bike frame, it's pretty old, and it's taken a couple of beatings, but its scratches are pretty minimal, and so that shows that its hardness is held up over time. And so between these three material types for a bike frame, which one is best, I would say is kind of up to personal opinion. If you're more into like racing, carbon fiber is definitely the way to go. It's stronger, it's lighter, it will just make you go faster in general. But when it comes to stuff like dirt jumping, and more of a slope style, I feel like chromoly would be a better option, just because it does have that ductility to it, so it can take some pretty large drops and beatings that it'll kind of mess with the frame a little bit, but it won't just explode as soon as you land, which is very important because we've all seen videos of people on a carbon fiber bike and they land pretty hard and it just explodes on them. And yeah, so that's about it on the three materials and bike frames.